In a second, a person can show you a full scale of their character.
Listen, Manolo, get an understanding. Before you scream and you say, how could your problem, guys, is that you get offended. What you think you're doing? Hey, you Bomboclaat, what you think you're doing? Who taught you? Who raised you? You need to talk to yourself about your offenses, or your level of offenses.
In all honesty, there is no synonym for the word. Bomboclaat is what it is. If you do look for a synonym, however, you'd only find it in Caribbean curse words, because those are the only ones that could have a meaning similar to it. But at the same time, they also have no meaning. It's just a curse word used for expression.
What you think you're doing? Hey, you Bomboclaat, what you think you're doing?
Zukiswa went from the Lord told me this, the Lord told me that, to now insulting people using the Jamaican slang.
You'd only find it in Caribbean curse words, because those are the only ones that could have a meaning similar to it.
Yep, you heard that correctly. There's been a trend of these supposed God told me people who come out and speak with vile language. I don't know if they think that's actually speaking of God's character, that he exposes everything, so he is vile. It's like that's how they think, that because God will expose all the falsehoods, that implies that he is vile. Celeste is one of them.
What I woke up with at 9 o'clock on the morning
14
of June the 12th,
minutes.
I read, I have seen an evil among the sons of men. This is what God said to me. And so I said, what is the evil, Lord? And instantly the Lord flashed me some images. The first image, I saw a person who was leaning forward on a stool. So they were leaning against a bed or leaning against a stool, and they were naked, and another person was stuffing what looked like a string of pearls into their behind. So yes, it was a string of pearls, almost like a rosary, and the beads were of different sizes. So some of them were small and some of them were big, and from the shapes of their bodies, I could see that it was two men doing this. So I saw their arms and their thighs, and I was immediately upset, because that's just the reaction I have when the Lord just does these things. And I said, God, why are you showing me this? Why do I have to see it? And the Lord said, because they make me very weary with this evil, and my prophets are unaware.
That God showed her in a dream. Why would God show you that? Like, if you think about it, why would God show you that? Second person is Tiffany Montgomery.
Somebody said, Tiffany, you shouldn't be cussing in the pulpit. And I remember when I first saw somebody say that, and most of the men that don't like me using the word are old, dumb, and full of cum. They are taking the that in the context that I used the word dictum is because most of us, not all of us, some of y'all had good godly common sense, but not all of us. Some of us were dictum. That's why right now you're trying to get back 5, 10, 15, and 20 years of your life, because you were in a destiny-destroying relationship because you were dictum.
So when he says, I'm going to go before you and I'm going to make this crooked place straight, that means whoever thought that they could cock block what God was doing.
Why are you saying that word? Now, that just means you are in the way, you're blocking, you're stopping, you're holding up, you're interfering. You could have said that. You didn't have, when these words come out of your mouth, one of two reasons are there. One, you don't have the vocabulary to use anything else. You didn't think about it. Or two, and more importantly, which also goes along with one, it's in your heart.
I've had one person that was working closely with me at Covered by God, and every time I turned around, this guy was giving a woman a ride home. And I was like, well, he's gonna be putting his in her soon, God.
There was a pastor that used to just be known as the cussing pastor. I think he passed away like last week.
Don't bring your dyke ass up in here with that bullshit, because I'll knock your goddamn ass off right here on TV. Okay? You understand that? That's all bad. Okay? Now, I don't know what you would know about me, but I ain't the one for you to play with. Okay?
There's a prophet from Limpopo currently. He was even trending a few days back. And he just goes off this tangent of cursing at people and saying all kinds of weird things. So you'll notice there is a theme around most of these individuals, is that they claim to be hearing from God, God told them this or the other, but at the same time, they have this vile language. For Celeste, she even goes as far as claiming that God showed her sensual in a dream. Why would God show you that? Like, if you think about it, why would God show you that? Why would God show you that? God show you. Like, the level of filth you have to be in for you to believe that God is showing. Anyways, it's all good. And then you have the other ones as well that go, for Zukiswa's one, it wasn't shocking that she's joining the camp of speaking to people or in this particular manner. She says that you are a what. Now, it's not a very Christian thing to be even saying. She repeated it several times. She repeats it several times, and the very same people claim that they are hearing from God. God is speaking to them. But in your language, it's very evident that there is no perspective that God is speaking to you. It's kind of weird. It sends off funny, weird signals. It's like you listen and then you're like, God, yeah. It's like they just say. Because it's much easier nowadays for people. It's difficult for people to take the time to read the scripture. It's much easier for people to take when someone says, God told me, and then they just pass it over to you. It's much easier. It looks like that one, it's a version that's easily accepted. Be very careful whom you're listening to. These people are weird out here. Openly, you're talking about a foul, Tiffany Montgomery. The way she speaks, no, not like a Christian. Just be talking, like you'd be wondering, like, but why did you have to use those words to describe what you're saying? If you ask me, it's because what they're claiming, the contrary. Claiming that God is talking to them, it's the contrary. Tell me your thoughts down in the comment section. It's the Rick Shared Show, daily Christian commentary videos. The Zukiswa video, it's a very new video. I think she posted the video, if I'm not wrong. She posted that particular video on her YouTube channel about 10 days ago from the time when I am uploading. It's called Above All Get Understanding, episode 12, at around 30 minutes, I think, around there. 28 minutes going up or somewhere there. Posted on the 23rd of February. That's where she actually makes those particular statements. Why do you think God is foul? Why do you think? Psalms off here. The prophet was very clear in the Old Testament. It was Isaiah. I'm a man of unclean lips. It was very clear that was a thing that he knew. To properly represent God, my tongue must speak a certain way.